I told you. You know what? I don't understand why, like, in my neighborhood. So, no, I'm telling you, man. Guy hit me with those super chats, bro. Otherwise, the power goes out. Man, I told you. No super chats, no power. No Bama football on YouTube. Oh man. You know what? I don't understand why. But in my neighborhood, it seems like it's a summer thing that the power goes out often. I don't know why. So this is part 2 of the show. We're back. I told you. Hey, if the power could go off again. So, you know. It's a thing here. I can't believe nobody said anything about the hoodie. If you want to support the players like through official gear, then go to Athletes Thread. The problem that I found out though is that Athletes Thread, it takes a little bit for shipping. So like if you've been playing in the raffles, it takes a little bit of time from Athletes Thread. Plus I just pick, the lowest end one. What were we saying? We were saying something. I can't even remember. We were talking about Bowie Feaster. I think we are talking about the fact that he's visiting USC, Texas A&M, LSU, and then he'll make a decision on July 4th, right? So keep your head on a swivel. I don't know. I mean, I would love to get this prospect. Absolute fire. But you know what? I must be like, I didn't know when like the goggles became like a thing. These are tight. These obviously for snowboarding. The Oakley snowboarding. I didn't like, when was this a thing? It looks tight. I like it. All right, so Jett the Mala. All right. Quarterback to watch. And he will be taking a visit to Iowa State. He was here for unofficial visits. 6'5" quarterback that Alabama is actively recruiting. And he's going back to Iowa State, to Ames. Has anybody been to Ames, Iowa? I used to live in Pella. Iowa. Anyone ever lived in Iowa? Yeah, I lived in Pella, south of Des Moines. It's not Des Moines, it's Des Moines. Anyways, I mean, look. Hey, David in with the power bill. I appreciate you, bro. Yo, Summers, yeah, appreciate it, bro. David, thank you so much for contributing, bro. You know what? I'll put you into the raffle as well, dude. Thank you so much. David Pickett. Thank you so much, brother. And I was thinking, one of the things that stood out to me, what stands out to you about this photo with Coach Kalen DeBoer? Oh, you're talking about Can't Hardly Wait? Is that what you're talking about, Josh Miller? Are you talking about Can't Hardly Wait? What was his name? Can't Hardly Wait. Goggles. Oh my God, I can't believe I forget his name. Young Kenny C, what was it? I need to find out right now. What was his name? You guys who remember who I'm talking about? Oh man. That was a good movie. The one thing that stood out to me, though, about this particular photo, it looks to me like Coach Kalen DeBoer has lost a significant amount of weight. Does that stand out to you? Kenny Fisher? What was he, like Kenny C or something like that? And he would try to be like real smooth. He's like, yo, 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 yo. And he had that backpack. That was a funny movie, man. He looks like, Coach Kalen DeBoer looks like he's lost weight. Raise your hand if you agree. Seems like he has. Good for him. I don't know, if things don't work out with Jett, I guess, they're also actively recruiting Matt Ponitowski, right? Chad, I got you in with Super Bro. Matt Ponitowski is another prospect that they are actively recruiting. 6'2", 190 pounds. All right. Out of Ohio. So Ohio, and then you have Jett the Mala out of I think he was out of, I think it's Missouri. Today, this is the raffle that we have. We got the power cut out a little while ago, but usually I bring this at the beginning of the show. If you want to get in for the Pinwheel, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube, $5 to enter, up to 3 tries, and then we'll spin the Pinwheel. All right. This is a tight hat. And this hat, if you want to just purchase it directly, it's from Fanatics. Or I usually just do Athletes Thread and I do like players gear. But if you want to just support the players directly, go to Athletes Thread and you can do all the gear there. And so this is today's raffle. I love rope hats. And I only usually rock with gear on the show that I would wear personally, right? So if you want to get into the raffle, get up in the raffle. All right, let's do. We didn't do this earlier. Usually I do this in the beginning of the show, but as you know, the power got cut. So this is basically like part 2 of the show. Hey, Joanne, what's up, man? Good to see you. Patrick Spencer, thank you very much for being here. Daniel Adams, always up in the house. Kaylin D. Boss, Rocket Town, what's up, man? Good to see you. Herman's always here, and I know Alyssa was here as well. Anita Waters, what's up? David Pickett, thank you so much for the super chat as well, brother. Stephen Hicks, good to see you. Southern Red, always up in the house. Army 3275, good to see you, brother. Ryan Harris, what's up, man? Yeah, we'll try to get in before the power gets cut out again. Who else we got up in here? C-Bama, always up in here. Dan Caraway, what's up, man? Patrick Spencer. Herman. Steven, good to see you, Steven. Glad you made it back for show number 2. I've already done 2 shows today. Alex Wilder, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. Robert, how's this say? Kyle Henderson, my friend from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. You know what's crazy? I have never really explored Pennsylvania. That's one of the few states. Right? I would imagine that the golf up there is absolutely unbelievable too. All right. Robert Bradley Jr. got you in, brother. All right, let's see. This next section of the show is powered by our good friends at Sonic, all right, in West Memphis, Arkansas, and Marion, Arkansas, where I-55 and I-40 hit, all right? Sonic sounds absolutely phenomenal today, as we always discuss. Who doesn't want a cheese coney or ocean water or a vanilla Dr. Pepper? Somebody was telling me about a drink. What is it with the Red Bull? I don't know. I forget what it was called. It was like a Sonic Bull. Is that it? Man, ocean water is so good. What else do they have? I need to explore the menu a little bit more. I don't know what this is right here. It looks like some sort of a burrito with like with some chips in it, right? The tater tots are just so, you know what? Chargers. All right. Thank you. The one thing that if you were having a bad day, some cheese tots will turn your frown upside down. And you know what else I like? I like the the jalapeno poppers with the ranch, right? Green apple Dr. Pepper, never had it. Vanilla cherry Dr. Pepper. Oh, I'm telling you, Josh, that is crazy. All right, Melon Jesus, what's up, dude? He's been a fan funder for some time. All right. Okay, so yeah, this is a whole new stream. All right, let me check something really fast, and then we'll talk about these ESPN ratings that just came up. Did you guys see this? I think I'm trying to see something on the channel. Just give me 1 second. Because I think there's a new feature. It's like a leaderboard. Give me 1 second. You might hear audio check right here. No, I don't see it yet. There should be like a ranking system coming to like YouTube. Like if you've commented enough, it's like a leaderboard. So I don't know. Keep your head on a swivel for that. Yeah, Steven, man, appreciate you being a fan funder as well, man. That's what's up. Hey, Lance, stop, man. Lance isn't filling the Sonic drinks. To each their own. But there's never, but the thing about Sonic is it's been one of the only places to kind of like embrace, different drinks, kind of on that sort of scale. I guess the only other place like that I really like a drink from is like, I know my kids like the Taco Bell, what is it called? The Baja Blast. The Baja Blast goes hard as well. All right, so ESPN rankings. I'll go full screen on this. We'll spend some time on this real quick. According to ESPN's FPI, 15 of the 16 teams with the toughest schedules are in the SEC. The only non-SEC team in the top 16 is Wisconsin, who ironically Alabama plays, right? And it's probably because they're playing Alabama in Tuscaloosa. This is likely influenced by the road game, like I said, at Alabama. Missouri is the only SEC team out of the top 16 coming in at number 20. So let's dive into the numbers a little bit more. Now, regarding just Alabama football, here we go. Let's look at this real quick. ESPN, the FPI strength of schedule for Alabama is 10 in the entire country, okay? ESPN ranking for the actual team where ESPN has Alabama football right now based on a couple different metrics is number 3 in the entire country. Now, for home games, you have Louisiana Monroe, who's ranked number 120, Wisconsin 38, Vandy 56, Tennessee 10. They're expecting Tennessee, I guess, to be pretty good again. LSU at 12, or that's the schedule of strength. Oklahoma at 16, Eastern Illinois in at obviously not ranked, right? And then away games, the teams that ESPN has Alabama playing, Florida State at number 48, Georgia at number 2. That game is going to be, you know what? I know there's a big game at the beginning of the season between Texas and Ohio State, but I think that the game that will supersede that in terms of ratings, in terms of overall value, is Alabama and Georgia. And I've said this before, and I think, I'll continue to ride this into the season, is I feel that Georgia isn't going to be the team that we're thinking Georgia will be. I think that I'm kind of on that stage where I feel that Georgia's going to take a couple steps back. I don't feel that they're going to have it from a quarterback standpoint. Now, they could be saying the same thing about Alabama football. I have more confidence in the quarterback room here than in Gunnar Stockton. You see what I'm saying? So I feel that the challenge will be playing on the road, and the fact that this team, even though they do have a lot of vets returning, I think, the special teams and the quarterback position, not having a lot of experience going into a game like Georgia, I think that does even the playing field, right? So, and one thing that the ESPN, these metrics don't really add in is the fact that Alabama has a super inexperienced special teams. And that's something that is going to really scare me until kind of that midway point of the season. Until these guys really have some legs under them, playing on the road, what if it comes down to a field goal? You have Connor Tauti go up in Athens, Sanford Stadium, 100 and whatever, 1,000 rocking at Georgia, night game. At this point in time, I would imagine that the two teams are ranked within the top 5, right? Because that either Texas or Ohio State, those teams are going to be ranked within the 1 through 5, and one of those teams is going to lose, so they'll be bumped down. Alabama, it's easy for Alabama to get momentum. right? They take care of business in the first 3 games of the season. That number 4 game, they're going to be ranked within the top 5. The probability of winning the actual SEC, again, this is from ESPN. Texas is the favorite right now at this point in time, and Georgia. Clearly, they disagree with me, right? But these are computer modules, so this is AI versus human. And then it has Alabama, Texas A&M, but look at the big drop-off, right? It has the big 3, and then other teams to win the SEC, you know, Texas A&M, Elko entering his 2nd year. Tennessee, I think a big drop, clearly because of the quarterback and kind of the stuff that has happened there. LSU, Ole Miss, wow, only 2.8%. That's an interesting team. If you're out there and you bet, like, I do see value in Ole Miss because I think that their quarterback is going to actually be better than we anticipate, right? And you know what? Talking about value, how about South Carolina? Is anybody surprised to see South Carolina with only a 1.8 to win the SEC? Maybe they won't win the SEC. Let's see where they are right here on this. They're number 15. Alabama's number 3. I don't know. I think these teams I think will be better than we anticipate. I think Ole Miss will be good. I think South Carolina will be really good. I think Oklahoma will actually be better, and I think even Florida will take steps forward as well, right? I mean, you look, and the reason I say this really has to do with quarterback play, right? Austin Simmons, I think he's going to be really good. Lenore Sellers, I think he's already really good. John Mateer coming to Oklahoma, maybe the best quarterback in the league. And then DJ Lagway, a lot of people like him as well. Who knows? A lot of people thought that Billy Napier in Florida were going to float off the entire planet last year, and the dude saved his job. Coaches, you know what, off. All right, probability of making the playoff now in the top 10 for ESPN. It has Texas at 83%, right? Georgia at 78%, Ohio State at 70%, Bama at 66%. So, you know, the two teams off the top from the SEC, basically the SEC teams that are playing the championship, or at least prediction-wise. And then number 3, Alabama. A lot of people love Penn State this year, going into this year. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not like a Penn State guy. And I think a lot has to do with, for me personally, I think a lot has to do with James Franklin. I like the guy individually. I just don't think that he wins big games. Oregon, of course, they're going to be there. Clemson, I expect them to be there as well. Miami, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Carson Beck. Notre Dame will be there, of course. I'm surprised that their playoff, percentage isn't 100%. They don't even have to play a conference championship game. Notre Dame's in the playoffs 100%. And then it has Tennessee at 38.5%, which is interesting because they only have a low percentage. What was their percentage to win the SEC? 4%. But at 38% to make the playoffs? That's weird. Probability of making the national championship game, right? So Texas and Georgia. Wow, so man, ESPN is loving Georgia. I think Texas is easier to believe, but I don't know about Georgia. Ohio State, Bama, Penn State. So those are the teams that, predicted to make the actual game. Bama at 20%. Damn. I'm telling you, people are starting to understand what's really coming back in Tuscaloosa. And then on this side, you have a probability of actually winning the championship. Texas, 24%. Georgia, 17%. Ohio State, 10%. Bama, 10%. And Penn State, 7%. So those are your teams in terms of, actually winning the championship. Is there anybody inside the comment box? I won't care. I would never judge. Is there anyone out there that really feels that this year Penn State is going to be, continue to climb as a team? Or do you have the same kind of questions about James Franklin that I do? It seems to me like they're a little bit overhyped. I don't know. Their schedule's easy. If you look, the teams that have really easy schedules, Oregon, I like Oregon's schedule, Penn State's schedule, Notre Dame's schedule. And the thing with Georgia is while they do have they play some difficult teams, every single difficult game is at Sanford Stadium. See, Ricky Smith saying what I'm saying, man. You don't win the big games. Right, King Grizz? Penn State in the Natty? No. So we'll have to see what happens, But I thought this was fun to run with today in terms of, looking at the playoffs. This is, let's see what Chad has to say inside the comment box. Chad has to say, why Texas? Because of Arch and Stark? Both are unproven. I think that, I'm a huge Sarkisian guy. I really feel kind of the opposite for whatever reason. I think it was just when he was here, I saw him, I watched him closely. I feel I have a lot more confidence that he could do something at Texas than at Penn State. Now, listen, and this is going to be crazy for Texas fans to hear, but if Steve Sarkisian and all the money and how off the rails that college football is right now, if Steve Sarkisian cannot win a championship at Texas, this Texas team will never win a championship game, period. And they'll have to live on the fact that their championship game was when they beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. And that's the biggest thing that has ever happened to that program since winning their previous championship. But right now, this is facts. Texas is living off of these things. That they beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and that they got Arch Manning, and that they got Steve Sarkisian, right? Those are the things that they have going for them. And that's what they're living off of right now. And the fact that they have more money than anybody else. Maybe, I don't know who has more money than Texas A&M, but it doesn't matter. Those are the things that they're living off of. And the fact that the college football rules are still kind of leaning into that way that they can just basically outbid everybody. But other than that, if he can't get the job done, they'll never win a championship at Texas. And that's it. So, he's a damn good team. He's a damn good coach, rather. But, I mean, look, yeah, artist formerly known as Sean. Texas living off a lot of hype. You got to put that hype onto actual action. And you got to win the big one. I mean, look, pressure is on. I'm serious. Texas is, and that's why Steve Sarkisian's already, I saw him recently saying he doesn't think that anybody will be able to go undefeated in college football. I agree with that. But he's also saying, like, the SEC isn't nothing to mess around with. It's not. And that's what makes following college football so frustrating with the college football playoff system, is because the SEC, look at this. Look at this. This is from ESPN, okay? According to the ESPN FPI, 15 of the 16 teams with the toughest schedules, listen to what I just said, 15 of the 16 teams with the toughest schedules are from the SEC. Did you see that? Why is this not added to the college football playoff criteria? That's the biggest problem that I have, is that I feel Alabama will be a better team, but they have a harder schedule. And they're going to be judged heavily if they've lost to some teams within the SEC and where they fall in the SEC, because other conferences have a lighter schedule and an easier path to make the playoffs. Just like Greg Sankey said, wins are valued at, like, overall wins are valued higher than a tough schedule. It sucks. Yeah, it's easy. Don't lose. Okay, yeah. South Carolina on the road, Georgia on the road, Auburn on the road. Those are hard games. Those are challenging games for anybody. And look, Boise State is definitely not going to Auburn and winning. I don't even think Notre Dame is going to Auburn and winning. Seriously, honest question. Does Notre Dame beat South Carolina this year in Columbia if they played? Do they? Does Penn State? That would be a hell of a game. Penn State versus South Carolina in Columbia. Does Penn State win? Let me ask you this. Does Penn State win on the road against Georgia? Does Notre Dame win on the road at Georgia? Does Iowa State or Colorado or BYU, do they win on the road at Georgia? Do they win on the road at South Carolina? Do they win on the road at Auburn? No. And the thing is, yeah, I don't know why nobody sweats South Carolina, but they better, man. Lenora Sellers will beat you know what. And if South Carolina would have had a few more extra minutes in that game, they would have beat Alabama. And see, this is the thing. This is what I'm trying to say. I say all that to say this. They're trying to make the SEC cannibalize itself. 100%. Exactly. So, like, look, man, we love Arizona State. Who didn't love their team? Who didn't love Bo Scatterbo? Like, that guy was a baller. Who didn't love their coach? Their quarterback is damn good. But where would they fall in the SEC? They'd be an afterthought. Where would Miami be in the SEC? They'd be an afterthought. Where would SMU be in the SEC? They'd be an afterthought. Afterthought, bro. SEC is crazy, man. That's why it would make total sense to me, and I wouldn't be mad if Alabama just got the hell out of the SEC, got their own huge TV contract independently like Notre Dame is, and went independent. We're like, yo, we're going to play Auburn at the back end of the season, and other than that, we're going to play, absolutely schedule that fits the playoff criteria. That's it. And we're gonna keep our game with Auburn at the end, but all of our other games are gonna be up to us, and we're gonna play on NBC. We're gonna have a gigantic TV contract. Everybody's gonna watch us. Playing in the SEC does not do you any benefits until they move to that, automatic, 4 from each. Like, what is it? 4 from the SEC, 4 from the Big Ten. Isn't that what they're going for in the future? And Daniel, you're right though. That's the one thing is that ESPN would hate that because ESPN live just like everybody else does, and don't get mad out there, but this is true. Every single organization is led by Bama fans. Think about it. Every single one. Every single organization up top is Bama driven. 24/7 is their biggest YouTube channel, 100%, right? On3 is 100%. ESPN is 100%. Everything is Bama. Bama's at the top. That's why they need Bama to do better. And Notre Dame is hiding. 100%. They're absolutely hiding. Yeah, we won't play a conference championship game. But don't get it twisted. All of the major organizations are Alabama driven. Look it up. Look it up. All right. Well, that was fun. We'll do the I know we have a couple Pinwheel people in. We'll spin the Pinwheel tomorrow, and I might be on tonight again. So keep your heads on a swivel. But this is the hat that we're rocking with. If you want to get into the raffle, Bama_YouTube on Venmo, Cash App Bama YouTube. All right. I appreciate you guys rocking with me every single day. Even when we have a power outage, just come right back and keep kicking it with us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys so much. I really am grateful for you guys' continued support, for you guys to be here during the month of June. And as we continue to kick it forward closer to the college football season, the SEC Media Days, what are they, June 14th through 17th? So really, they're not that far away. We'll get there. Stay blessed. Stay where your feet are at. If you want to support the players individually, go to Athletes Thread, buy their merchandise. You want to support us right here on Bama Football, Super Chats are a great way to start. Venmo, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. All the support. I really appreciate it. You guys stay blessed. Stay where your feet are at. Enjoy this beautiful thing called life. Coming to you one more time from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this fine Tuesday, June 3rd. Kyle Anderson at Bama Football on YouTube. I love you, fam, and I'll catch you soon. See ya.